Let's start out. Maybe you can just go ahead and say your name and where you're from and what congregation you're coming from.
Well, my name is Jeff Smith, and I'm from Council Bluffs, Iowa. I grew up in southern Illinois, and I go to, my congregation is Emmanuel Lutheran, of course,
Yeah.
in Council Bluffs.
Okay.
It's a nice small congregation, very good fellowship there. I really like it a lot there. I'm kind of what I'd call a newly minted Lutheran.
Okay, that's fine. You're not the only one.
Growing up in southern Illinois, I was really unchurched.
Mm-hmm.
My family, they're not that religious, but we had Bibles, and I would open it and try to read the Bible and not understanding things. I couldn't quite get what was going on, and it was a King James Bible, and it said these and thous, and I'm like, I just don't get it, and I was never really versed in those things, and I thought, I'm interested in this, I really am, and so, but I had sports, and I went on and did all these other things, and kids, and that's why you don't see a lot of younger teenagers and things. They get into their sports and they're doing all these other things, and they lose track of where they should be going. And I think sometimes parents aren't there to really guide, and I don't think I was guided that way. And I could have been, but it just didn't work out that way. But I guess the one thing I wanted to talk about is that even though I wasn't churched, and God found me anyway. I was in a horrific car crash in 1993, and I thought, I'm driving along and there's this big semi looming up in front of me. And it's snowy, and there's a big ditch on one side, and I'm like, and I saw it coming right at me, it's like slow motion happening, and I went, well, and I said this out loud. I was the only one in the car. I said this out loud. I said, oh God, I'm dead. And a hit, boom. Oh, I'm still alive. And then the car slid around. And then I saw the trailer right in front of me. I thought, I'm going to slide underneath. But the car hit the back wheels of the tractor trailer part, and I didn't die. And I thought, wow, I made it. I'm alive. Mm-hmm. I was severely injured. Mm-hmm. And I just, for a couple of years after that, I was thinking, why did I live through this? Why am I in all this pain? Why is all this happening? Why didn't I die in this? And so, I didn't do anything about that. I heard that there was a message there.
Right. Yeah.
I heard the message, but I didn't do anything about the message for quite a while. And finally, these folks I met, my youngest daughter, she's 18 now, but she met this young girl in I don't know, I think it was probably kindergarten, and wanted to go to their house. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, okay, you can go to their house, but I want to meet the parents.
Sure.
So I went over there and got to talking to these folks, and they were like, hey, we can go to this church. Would you be interested in coming to church with us? And I said, well, yeah. Actually, that was the first invitation that anybody had ever given me to come to a church. I thought, maybe this is my opportunity right here to kind of figure out what's going on. So I went to church, and what I actually started out doing was, there was this little Wednesday get-together where the kids would all get together, and I'd take the my child and their child, and we'd all go down to this church, and they would do Bible study, and they had these classes, and they'd have a fun playtime and all this stuff, and I got to where I was starting to help supervise it and plan things, and then I started taking kids to the sanctuary for the lessons, and then we talk about things, and then I started showing up on Sundays and started really enjoying it, and I hadn't been baptized, and here I was, I guess about 40 years old, and I was like, maybe I should be baptized. But before I was baptized, in the weeks before, I was sitting in one of the pews, and I was like, and all of a sudden I had this just feeling come over me, and it went through my body, and it lifted me up, and I knew right then and there that I was ready for this. I was ready for my baptism, and then we did it was for a 4th of July baptism, and there was a bunch of us there, and we were in a pool, and that full submersion thing. It was really really cool. And,
Yeah.
But I felt a whole weight come off of me, and I felt so light, and ever since then I've felt really wonderful about my decisions that I was able to get through this message that God was sending me. He told me, because I asked him, I said, God, I'm dead. And he said, no, you're not. I have other plans for you. And so that's kind of what I wanted to say to some people, that God can send you a message, and you might not hear it right away. But those messages are there. If you're ready to hear them, you'll hear them, and just go with it, and don't be afraid to look for that. Don't be afraid to look for that sign, and know that God's protecting you and helping you in many ways that you don't know. And
that is a wonderful thing to share, and to let people know that and I like especially what you said about the messages are there. We may just not always hear them or realize them or understand them for what they are right away, but to not give up on listening and tuning in to them, because we need the messages that were sent from God for those little guideposts along the way. So
yeah. Well, I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Do.
I really
Thanks,
appreciate you
Fred.
coming in.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Well, thanks.
Yep. Have a
We'll
good
see
day.
you.